Good afternoon, I'm Trinity Chavez. It is Friday, March 15th, and you are watching NYSE TV Live. This afternoon, Diageo, which trades here at the exchange under ticker symbol DEO, will officially kick off St. Patrick's Day weekend by ringing the closing bell in just about a half an hour. We'll be taking you to the boardroom in just a few minutes, where President of Diageo Beer Company, Rodney Williams, will deliver remarks and receive an NYSE medallion before signing the Distinguished Guest Book and ringing the closing bell. He'll also join me on the trading floor to discuss the company's ambitious growth strategy. Now, this isn't the first time Diageo has helped the exchange ring in St. Patrick's Day. Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Montana and Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow were here on hand for last year's celebration. Let's take a look.
Happy St. Patrick's Day and a very warm welcome back for the 16th year to Diageo. Congratulations, everyone.
You know, it's a special day because typically there's only one person that hosts the closing bell ceremony. Today you have two of us.
We want to raise a glass to great partners and continued traditions. Let's launch up.
Getting now to business, Diageo is the parent company of some of the most iconic brands in the beverage industry, ranging from beers like Guinness to Scotch whiskey like Johnnie Walker, distilled vodka like Smirnoff, and cream liquor like Bailey's. Diageo's portfolio includes more than 200 brands and sales in nearly 180 different countries. Diageo employs over 30,000 people and has more than 130 production sites around the globe. Johnnie Walker is just one of the over 100 individual Scotch brands in Diageo's lineup, the company's largest category. Now, in fiscal year 2023, Scotch was responsible for 31% of Diageo's net sales, including beers and wines. Tequila was the second largest spirit when it came to the net sales at 15%. Vodka and international whiskey were responsible for about 12% and 11% respectively. Now, we'll dive further into Diageo's growth strategy in just a minute, but the company sees tequila as a major player for years to come, saying that the spirit has experienced high growth in the U.S. with brands like Don Julio and Casamigos, but still has significant headroom to increase the penetration as it takes on the tequila global. Now, between 2022 and 2027, Diageo sees the compound annual growth rate, or the annual growth rate of an investment over a specified period of time longer than a year, of tequila soaring about 12%. Now, Diageo forecasts that international whiskey and gin will each see about a 7% bump, and Scotch coming in at 6%. But Diageo's growth plans don't end there. In 2020, Diageo announced a goal to deliver a 50% increase in its total beverage alcohol market share from 4% to 6% by 2030. We'll save you all of the math, but this is equivalent to about 30 billion new individual drinks globally over that span. Wow. That's impressive. Now, Diageo is also using its star power to put its brands in the spotlight. So check out this latest Guinness promotion, starring and co-directed by Jason Momoa.
Kanpai.
Kanpai.
Oh, sorry, man. Dang it! I'm Irish!
Hey! Then kiss me!
Yeah!
Me too!
Of course you are! You! Yeah, buddy! Oh! Beat it, baby.
Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Chris Taylor, Global Head of Advisory here at the New York Stock Exchange. I don't think you have to wonder why this is always our favorite bell of the year. A very, very warm welcome back to Diageo, to Guinness, as we celebrate St. Patrick's Day weekend here at the NYSE. This is kicking it off, Rodney, is it not?
Kicking it off.
Awesome, awesome. It's truly our pleasure to have everyone in the building today. A very, very warm welcome to the NYSE. Without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Rodney Williams, President or CEO of Diageo Beer North America. Rodney, please.
Is this great or what? You know, when I joined the company, Claudia said, it's not going to be boring on Guinness. Is she right or what? Yeah, no, I mean, when you watch that video and you see the storied history of the stock exchange, 1792?
1792, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we go all the way back to 1759. Just saying, you're a youngin'. You're a youngin'. You know, but in order to stay relevant, you have to continually evolve. And I just posted something that I just learned about Guinness, the fact that in 1954, we had a scientist who is actually credited, for anybody who has had the torture of taking statistics in class, of perfecting the T distribution approach, which basically allows you to control errors in sampling. You're able to project from a very small sample. And Guinness was actually using that to maintain consistency in the beer. So it's just one of the many stories that really layer off of this storied brand. So it's our honor, our true pleasure to be here sharing this St. Patty's Day weekend kickoff with the New York Stock Exchange. And with that, please raise a glass. Hear, hear, to another couple 260-year history. Cheers. Sláinte. Sláinte.
Please, love for you to say a few words.
Absolutely. Just building on Rodney, when Rodney kicked off the season this year, he said, it's not about St. Patty's Day. It's not about St. Patty's weekend. It's about St. Patty's month. So I'm just honored that we're here today. We appreciate your partnership from the Stock Exchange. We've been on an incredible journey together. We appreciate always coming here. We appreciate celebrating with you. And I just want to raise a glass to everyone, to innovation, my favorite innovation ever, which is Guinness 00. And invite you all, have a great pint or have a great pint of zero. So sláinte, cheers to you all.
Cheers. You're here.
I could not agree more, and thank you from all of us at the Exchange for the long-term partnership as well. It's really a special relationship. Well, we are going to go ring a bell. We're going to go close the market. We have a lot of people. Today is a big day as well. We have a rebalancing of some major indexes, so it's going to be a very big last trade on the exchange, which we're very excited about. The markets are a little choppy today. I looked. Diageo is up today, so we get to really cheer. All right, that's awesome. I'm going to turn the webcast over to my colleague, Trinity, and we'll see everyone on the floor. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
That's it. We have DEO on the screens right behind me. We have so much of a celebration to get to, as you just heard from Chris Taylor and Rodney Williams, again, who is the president of Diageo Beer Company. I loved when he said how it's an honor to be here. It was a true pleasure. And he cheers to another 260 years. And I also loved how they were saying that it's not about St. Patty's Day, it's not about St. Patty's weekend, but it's about St. Patty's month. So a lot of key takeaways there. We're going to see them later on the floor, like I said earlier, but we're going to switch gears a little bit. Now, the bars and restaurants selling Diageo's beverages this weekend will need all hands on deck to handle the high demand. That's where companies like Restaurant 365 come in. I recently spoke with the CEO, Tony Smith, all about it. Restaurant 365 is a game changer in the food industry, powering renowned establishments including Wolfgang Puck, IHOP, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, Wendy's, and many others. We're going to speak with the CEO and co-founder, Tony Smith, about plans for expansion, community outreach, and the recent unicorn status it achieved with a $135 million funding round, only on Taking Stock.
We help restaurants manage most of what goes on in their establishments. So that's from controlling their food costs, managing their labor, running their accounting, their payroll, all of the store operations. So it's a very broad software system.
Is it true that it's the world's first all-in-one back-end system for restaurants?
Yes, we're the only one that does everything that we're offering there that I just mentioned.
Restaurant 365 just achieved unicorn status with $135 million in funding. Tell me how, what's next? How does this contribute to the company's broader goals?
Yeah, it was interesting. We weren't out raising money, but some great groups were leaning in towards us. And as we chatted with a number of them, we found some really good fits for some new partners that we could bring on board. And so with that, we did the fundraise this year, and it was really successful for us to have some money available that we can continue to advance our cause.
And tell me more about your expansion plans.
Yeah, our main investments throughout the course have been on the R&D side, so creating new product that adds value to restaurants. And I mean, each year we invest more than $30 million in creating this new product, and so that money will go to good use.
Can you talk to me more about the educational programs for industry professionals?
Well, that's been exciting. Lately, we've been rolling that up with hospitality education programs, especially in universities and colleges, where we can get connected with them and help create some curriculum around the restaurant industry as a whole. And also for some of these professionals that want to work in the restaurant industry long term, we can educate them on the technology that they can use.
From where you sit, tell me how the restaurant industry has really evolved through the years.
One of the things we've seen, we've been in business about 12 years, so I'll go back that far.
Okay.
And one thing we saw there was a lagging adopter of technology. So many things were manual, and you'd have clipboards hanging on every wall, and a lot was managed that way. And over these last 12 years, our solution and others have evolved and allowed restaurants to do things a lot more digitally that helps them to keep up in the industry.
Now, you're here at the New York Stock Exchange, the epicenter of global financial markets. What would you like to tell investors?
We're going to keep charging forward.
Yeah.
We're going to keep investing in our product. We see a lot of growth and expansion out there, new ways that we can add value to restaurants. That's really what our passion is. I always say to our company, AAV, always add value. And so we'll just continue to focus on that and invest in what we're doing.
AAV, always add value. Thank you so much, Tony, for joining me today.
Yeah, such a pleasure.
Now, the executive team who we heard from earlier is making their way down to the trading floor from the 6th floor, where we have more than a dozen rooms of iconic rooms, actually, where we have hosted some of the most memorable events. And we're going to see images there in just a few moments as they make their way over to the distinguished guest book, where they're going to sign it underneath the Bell Podium right before they make their way up to the Bell Podium to close out the U.S. equity markets for the day. Now, I want to tell you a little bit more about Guinness, though. So Diageo was founded less than 3 decades ago, in 1997 to be exact, but its household beer brand Guinness has been around for close to 3 centuries. On December 31st, 1759, Arthur Guinness signed a 9,000-year lease on St. James Gate Brewery in Dublin for an annual rent of £45, or about $58 back then with today's exchange rate anyway. Now, during the 1770s, Arthur began brewing a new type of English beer, one that Guinness is synonymous for today, porter. Fast forward about 250 years to 2022, when Guinness became Britain's #1 beer on trade for the first time ever. On trade refers to places that sell beverages for immediate consumption on site, for those of you who might not know, like bars, pubs, and restaurants. Then in March 2023, Guinness recorded a record 12.1% on trade share, which it attributes to St. Patrick's Day and Six Nations Championship, an annual annual rugby competition. But that's not all. In fiscal year 2023, Guinness says that it delivered its strongest performance ever, with growth in every single region and historic share growth continuing in the first half of the 2024 fiscal year. Furthermore, Guinness says the majority of the growth was in Europe, followed by Africa and then the US. Finally, on a value share basis, the company boasts that Guinness is the top beer brand in Ireland and Nigeria, and at the end of the calendar year 2023 became the top value sales beer brand in Great Britain across on and off the trade combined. Now, Guinness has also pointed to the scaling up of its alcohol-free option, which has become very popular, Guinness 00 or 0.0, as you heard in the boardroom, as a part of Diageo Society 2030 Spirit of Progress's ESG action plan to promote positive drinking, and Guinness placed its first alcohol-free beer at the heart of the Six Nations Championship. Now, this past Monday, Ireland Inc. rang the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange to celebrate Ireland Day. Our own Judy Shaw sat down with Ian Hyland, president of Ireland Inc., to talk about the relationship between Ireland and the U.S. Let's take a listen.
Joining me today on NYSE Floor Talk is Ian Hyland. He is the president at Ireland Inc. Ian, it's fantastic to see you again.
Judy, thanks for having me.
Welcome. So now it is the 12th Ireland Day here at the New York Stock Exchange. We've been doing this for a while.
You have, and what I'm really proud of is that looking around us here, we're the only country in the world to get an economic day at the NYSE, and it's an incredible bond between our two countries, and I think economics are at the center of that.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, why is the relationship between Ireland and the US so special?
Well, I think the two-way pathway is vital on a number of levels. Cooperation, cohesion, certainty. And cooperation, partnership, we equal each other in the kind of number of jobs that US companies have in Ireland and Irish companies have across the United States. Cohesion speaks for itself, and certainty in choppy waters geopolitically. Ireland is a trusted partner for the United States, and the United States has been a trusted partner for Ireland for 100 years this year. We celebrate our diplomatic relations, and I think that says a lot. That's the milestone.
Definitely a long-standing relationship. Now, there are a number of business and political leaders from Ireland and the US that are here with you today, and you had several of them up on the Bell podium when you rang the bell this morning. Tell me, what are some of the benefits of getting decision makers and thought leaders from the two countries together in the same room?
The really important piece about Ireland Day at the New York Stock Exchange is that Ireland Day is an all-island platform. So today we have the President's Special Envoy to Northern Ireland, Joe Kennedy. We have the US Ambassador to Ireland, Claire Cronin, and we have the Irish Minister in New York this week at the UN, and for St. Patrick's Week's Helen McEntee. Vitally important statement for all governments, a vitally important statement for businesses across the island of Ireland, and indeed US corporations who are already invested in Ireland or considering investing in Ireland. And that's what this platform brings together in dialogue and the big statement of opening the market.
Now, you're president of Ireland Inc. Tell me about your role, the work that you do.
So we established ourselves 14 years ago, and what we do is we've been amplifying and engaging Irish businesses across the US. We work very closely with those Irish businesses, help them with their where to play strategies, help them navigate some obstacles to growth, and really importantly then work with the offices in DC, with Select USA, to help them bring jobs from Irish companies right across all 50 states in the United States.
Okay, and finally, Ian, tell me, what do you think the future holds for the relationship between Ireland and the US?
Well, we just heard upstairs in our meeting the positivity of big American corporations in Ireland. But here, we recently had Flutter listing, for example, a couple of weeks ago on the NYSE. The future is incredibly bright for Irish businesses. The future is incredibly bright for Brand Ireland, and I think the future is incredibly bright because of the unique relationships that Ireland and the United States share, both diplomatically and economically.
All right. Well, Ian, always wonderful to see you. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk today.
Judy, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, we are here on the trading floor as we get ready to speak to Rodney, who you heard in the boardroom. Actually, let's take a look at what's happening right behind me. And we're seeing dozens of friends, colleagues, just supporters of just the whole company here today. And right now we're getting images of the whole team right there. Chris Taylor, they're signing the Distinguished Guest Book. Again, this is hugely significant because it's a representation of everything that we do here at the NYSE. The long list of entrepreneurs, celebrities, CEOs, thought leaders who have walked through these doors at this iconic 231-year-old institution and have etched their name in that guest book, that distinguished guest book, really being a part of history. As a matter of fact, we just had The Rock sign that distinguished guest book just a few weeks ago. So again, this is hugely significant. We're going to see them captivate every single moment with our in-house photography team, which we're seeing play out right now in real time, right in front of CNBC's set as they are underneath the Bell podium, where we will again see that whole team up there in just a few moments, ring the closing bell and close out the U.S. equity markets. We're going to see them also make their way over here, and I'm going to speak to Rodney in just a few moments. But I want to point out what's happening behind me. Again, dozens of friends, colleagues, supporters are gathering here, right here. Oh, there's Chris Taylor right here. Actually, Rodney's joining me right now. Hello, Mr. Williams.
Hello.
That's good to see you.
Likewise. Thank you for having us here.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw you guys toasting in the boardroom and really talking about the significance of today. I mean, how are you feeling right now?
So excited. We can't think of a better place to kick off St. Patty's Day weekend. I mean, the stock exchange has been here and operating since 1792. We've been operating, producing Guinness in Dublin since 1759. Long trajectory. And both institutions have had to modernize and change with the times. You guys have become so tech friendly, and we have launched Guinness Zero, non-alc, which tastes the same, looks the same, feels the same. Esquire magazine said it's the king of all non-alcs. So we're really excited.
I'm really loving that. I'm excited to try it. But, I want to talk about sales, especially around the holiday, right? I mean, what do you see a significant jump, or what's the trend?
Well, March basically is 75% bigger than any other month of the year for us.
Wait, I love how you were saying in the boardroom how it's not just about St. Patrick's Day, it's the month.
It's the month, and we're trying to make it the year. We're really excited. We've opened a new tap room in Chicago to complement the one that we've got in Baltimore. So we're really pushing the embrace of beer and Guinness with food.
Amazing. And you know what? I know that you have a bell to ring, so I'm not going to hold up much of your time because the market waits for no one.
That's true.
All right. Thanks, Rodney. Take care. Bye-bye. I'm going to bring in Chris Taylor now, who we also saw on the board. Hello. Actually, Mr. Taylor, can you please stand right there? Thank you so much. Oh, my gosh. What a fun day.
It's an awesome day. It really is an amazing tradition here with Diageo, St. Patrick's Day, and Guinness. I started here in 2017. We've done it every year except one during COVID. It's an incredible tradition, a lot of energy, and we love partnering with them on this day.
And let's talk about your favorite beverage. I know that they're a key player in the Scotch industry, so let's talk about it.
So I'm a big Scotch fan, but I've turned over a new leaf in my lifestyle. I've discovered non-alcoholic beer, and I drink a lot of non-alcoholic beer, a lot of IPAs, but Guinness Zero is clearly the best one and my favorite one. It really resembles the real thing, and it's my go-to now. I just had one upstairs. It's truly amazing. It's category and product extension, and it's just a really good beer.
Let's talk
Stout.
Let's talk about Diageo's business, right? And how the values of their business model align with the NYSE community here.
Global and iconic. 2 words. That's Diageo, and that's what we think the NYSE is as well. I mean, when you think of great brands, whether it's spirits or beer, Diageo is there, and they're the leaders in the world. So I like that.
Amazing, Chris. Well, I won't keep you because I know that you have markets to close out.
We do. It's a big day today.
All right, thank you. I'm going to bring in Joyce now. Hi, Joyce. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me.
I would shake your hand, but my hands are kind of tied up right now. I mean, we heard you and your colleagues in the boardroom. I mean, let's talk about the significance of the day.
I mean, St. Patrick's Day is really our favorite holiday of the year. It's so special to be here. I mean, this is honestly a bucket list item. For me, I know for my whole team to be able to bring them here. We've worked so hard all year to make sure all of the bars, all of the restaurants are fully stocked with the best Guinnesses that you could possibly taste. So we're just so excited to be celebrating here with you all for the 17th year in a row.
I know, I'm so excited. So we have about 30 seconds right now. So I know that you're really anticipating market growth, right? And you want to increase from from 4% to 6% come 2030. How are you going to go about doing that?
So here's the thing. St. Patrick's Day obviously is the perfect time to celebrate with Guinness, but Guinness is delicious all year round. So on March 18th and April and May and June, we're just so excited to be able to share more Guinness with more people in all types of occasions that people want to celebrate.
Amazing, Joyce. Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Sláinte.
All right, I'll see you later. I'm going to bring in one of my colleagues, actually, Stefan Jenkel. How are you?
It's amazing. The energy here is palpable, and you can really feel it. And it's very rare, obviously, that we have guests here that date back longer than we do, but also longer than the U.S. Declaration of Independence does, and longer than, as many of you know probably, the first St. Patrick's Day parade in New York in 1762 does. So
you literally took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to ask you why today specifically with Diageo is so significant. I mean, you're the head of international listings, so tell me from your vantage point why having them be with us here at the NYSE is so important.
So on top of occasions like these, which is phenomenal, we are partners of companies or also entities seeking to raise capital. And also with Ireland, our history goes back to 1916 when the government of Ireland was issuing bonds. Here a bit more recent on the corporate side, we have it was 1989 when Allied Irish Bank listed here, and today we're proud to be the base and the market for 16 companies based and domiciled and incorporated in Ireland.
You know, tell me about your relationship, right, with working so closely with Diageo, with their team, with their brand. Tell me about that.
It's fantastic. So our team has the duty and actually privilege and actually joy to work with our listed company here on any matters involving their listing. That would be from mechanical, also back then in 97, though I wasn't here, the merger, the creation of Diageo, it may be demergers, it may be any corporate actions, and it's going down to helping and advising companies to access the US market, finding and approaching new investors, and of course commercial activities like these where clients come in and bring key constituencies, be it business partners, be it employees, be it team members, here to the floor of the stock exchange.
And you know, from your vantage point as the head of international listings, can you elaborate more on, as you hear the crowd getting wild? I mean, sometimes it's even hard to hear what
2.5 minutes to go, so already.
Yeah, so we have 2 minutes to go right now, and you're going to hear the crowd get even more wild in just a few moments. But just real quickly, tell me, you know, as the head of international listings, elaborate more on the, the international footprint, specifically when it comes to Irish listings.
Absolutely. So it goes back, and Ireland and Irish companies were one of the early companies that listed here, and also when it comes to transatlantic fundraisings, where we go actually all the way back to 1867. So and today 16 companies from Ireland incorporated based in Ireland are listed here, have the NYSE as the US home for their capital market presence.
So last question, we're going to make this a little fun one. Enough with the hard-hitting questions. What are you going to do for St. Patrick's Day?
Well, I'll for sure stay in the city. I'll try to catch the parade tomorrow. And tonight, I'm going out with some of the friends here. So we have Irish clients in today, actually, and they promised me we would go out and have a pint or two. So we'll see.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Stefan, for taking the time. I'll let you go.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Let's take a look at this crowd. I mean, everyone's got their green on. We're representing. So this is just a little preview. You guys a little bit more. All right, we're about 45 seconds out. We're in front of CNBC said we're probably disrupting their broadcast just a little bit, but right now we're getting shots. Look at the whole team right there. They're up there on the Bell podium. Chris Taylor is explaining exactly what he has to do. Rodney's gonna hold his finger down on that button up there for about 15 seconds, closing out the U.S. equity markets, and it's just gonna be a great day to kick off St. Patrick's Day weekend. But again, it's not about St. Patrick's Day, it's not about the weekend, but it's about St. Patrick's month. As a matter of fact, let's just listen into the closing bell right now. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Trinity Chavez, signing off.
iconic brands speak for themselves. The strongest brands stand the test of time. We are so excited to welcome you to our community. Today is all about you.
We've never lost sight of what we're trying to do and deliver that mission.
Going through this experience with my partners and my families has been unbelievable.
We imagined something that didn't exist yet, and we believed that we could do it.
You're going to look back on this accomplishment as one of the finest you've ever done.
I want you to know that the best is yet to come.
Just a few minutes, we'll go downstairs to the legendary New York Stock Exchange trading floor to ring the opening bell. The history here, the tradition, it's just incredible for us to be at this moment.